This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
I'm Roby Brock. Welcome to this edition of Talk Business and Politics, day 92 of the 93rd Arkansas General Assembly. The big news today, Senate Bill 622 in the House. After a moment of high drama on Monday in the Arkansas House, lawmakers passed Senate Bill 622, a class protection bill described as a hate crimes law for Arkansas. The bill passed by a 65-26 margin with 5 members voting present. There was a mixture of bipartisan support and opposition to the measure. Senate Bill 622 has been at the center of controversy since last Thursday when Representative Carol Dalby, Republican of Texarkana, chairwoman of the House Judiciary Committee, ruled the bill passed her panel on a voice vote while simultaneously adjourning the committee. On Monday, Representative Brant Smith, Republican of Jonesboro, vice chairman of House Judiciary, asked for the measure to be returned to committee from the House floor. The Speaker of the House, Representative Matthew Shepard, Republican of El Dorado, ruled the bill would remain on the House floor and not be sent back. Shepard was the main House sponsor of the bill. Smith sought a vote from the full House on his motion to re-refer the bill to committee, but House members sustained the Speaker's decision 61-34. That cleared the way for a floor debate in the House. After a lengthy debate on the merits of Senate Bill 622, the bill did pass by the 65-26 margin. It now heads to Governor Asa Hutchinson for signature. The governor said he supports the measure. After this break, Governor Asa Hutchinson held a press conference on teacher pay today. We'll tell you what he had to say. And Arkansas Democrat-Gazette columnist John Brummett on the life and legacy of Paul Greenberg. We're back after this. Talk Business and Politics is sponsored in part by Capital Advisors Group and...
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas. Our 17 electric distribution cooperatives are working day and night to provide reliable, affordable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses, just like yours. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
They say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But if you're looking for something more, Walmart has you covered. We provide quality care, no appointment necessary. Whether you're looking for fresh, healthy groceries to fill your prescription, get a flu shot, or pick up your next pair of glasses, we're standing by with in-store health professionals available across the country to offer patient-first, affordable care whenever you need it. Apples, optional.
Governor Asa Hutchinson held a press conference today to talk about teacher pay. Here is the gist of what he had to say. Governor Asa Hutchinson signed a pair of identical bills Monday that will raise the state's median teacher salaries by $2,000 and create a fund to help lower paying districts reach that amount. Senate Bill 504 by Senator Missy Irvin, Republican of Mountain View, and House Bill 1614 by Representative Bruce Cozart, the chairs of the Senate and House Education Committees respectively, will raise the target median teacher salary to $51,822 for the next 2 school years. The House and Senate committees afterwards would jointly set the statewide target median salary. It also provides $25 million to create a teacher salary equalization fund that will provide $185 per student in districts that are below the median salary. According to the legislation, the gap between the highest average salary, $60,963, and the lowest, $39,578, was a little more than $21,000. You can read more on this story at talkbusiness.net. When we come back, John Brummett, columnist for the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Stay tuned. Talk Business and Politics is sponsored in part by Impact Management Group and...
We have a large commitment to our solar for good reason. It lowers customers' rates. It's emissions-free.
Entergy Arkansas is the largest provider of solar in the state of Arkansas.
Utility-scale solar is much more economic for customers. We're going to operate it. We're going to maintain it. We're going to focus on it. That's what we do for a living.
We want to continue to find ways to partner with our customers to meet their renewable energy goals.
Customers want this. We want to provide it. So our commitment is for the long term.
Here's to the fearless fight, the comeback, the battle against all odds. For some, it's taking the first step. For others, it's forging a new path. a chance to prove to ourselves what we're really made of. And with the name trusted in insurance for more than 70 years, even a battered spirit can come back stronger. Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Live fearless.
Joining me now is John Brummett, columnist with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. John, always good to be with you on this beautiful beginning of a spring week.
It's a lovely morning, and it was a pretty good weekend, too. Hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
Yes.
Begin with the passing of Paul Greenberg, legendary editorial writer for originally the Pine Bluff Commercial, obviously for a long time the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, one of your colleagues. Tell me, what's the legacy of Paul Greenberg?
The legacy of Paul Greenberg is an influence of great writing on those who enjoy reading and who aspire to write in a way that's incrementally reminiscent of his writing. When the news of his passing came last Wednesday morning, the first thing I did was instinctively make a post on Facebook, and the thing that occurred to me that I had to talk about was that he had influenced me as a writer. He was a master writer. I told him when I came back to the Democrat Gazette after 11 years away that I had missed being associated with world-class talent, and he did have it. I mean, go anywhere, ask anybody in the business. Paul Greenberg wrote elegantly, and he also helped steer a legacy. Is the editorial page of the Democrat Gazette, and you can look at that two ways. He's established a literate conservative voice, or he fashioned an editorial philosophy there that promoted what he called variegated opinions, which is not so much hard left and hard right, but he called himself an unreliable conservative. I like to call myself an unreliable liberal. It's not the McLaughlin group in his vision, and I think it's been largely that kind of page. People have their partisan philosophical views of it, but you get all shadings and hues some days if we're all doing our job, and that's what he envisioned.
All right. Well, certainly we will miss his passing. He's been just around, my entire life. So there's always been Paul Greenberg to read there. So we'll see. Let's move on to some national politics. Sarah Huckabee Sanders making an appearance, I presume, at Mar-a-Lago with former President Donald Trump, another fundraising outing there. We're going to find out this week on the 15th how much money she's raised. What is your expectation, and what do you think of her still hitching herself to the Trump wagon there?
Well, I was amused that you said on the national level we have Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's running ostensibly, officially, to be governor of Arkansas, but I think you said it right. She's running nationally. She's appearing in Florida mostly, sometimes in Texas, sometimes elsewhere. And basically what you get from her as an Arkansas voter is if you follow her on Twitter, she will post about her latest fundraiser with Trump as of over the weekend, and Pompeo in Texas, and she's a nationalized candidate. She intends to be. She wants to be. And I guess that you said that apparently was Mar-a-Lago, the thing she posted over the weekend. I guess it was. It looked real tacky, like it was a place with representing more creditors than good taste, is what it looked to me like. And Trump stood there with a suit and no tie and a big red, I guess it was a MAGA hat, pulled down real low, and he was presenting her to a fundraising group. And it's just more of the same, but the point, Roby, is I have fashioned a line that I like and want to use it again. She's running to make Arkansas an outpost for the next Trump insurrection. I mean, think about this. We haven't heard her say word one about an Arkansas issue, an Arkansas specific issue. And then Donald Trump decides to make a statement that our reasonable conservative governor, Asa Hutchinson, is weak and a rhino and must go because he vetoed that outrageous transgender bill. And then Sarah Huckabee deigned to answer a question from the local press because President Trump had given her a cue as to what to say. So she spoke on the president's side, not on the governor's side. And that's about it. And I'm afraid, to the extent that he wants to, her governorship will be Donald Trump running Arkansas, which horrifies me. But based on what we've seen so far, the essence of her campaign is, I'm going to give you a tool of Donald Trump as your governor. And I know you love him. The majority of you love him. So let's go. That's what seems to be Arkansas seems to have in store.
Well, I feel like at some point in time, there's got to be some sort of independence from him in terms of her staking out positions on Arkansas issues. I don't think they've been forthcoming yet.
No, of course they haven't. You still trying to get her on for an interview? Or should I bring her?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't offer anything, but she did when she got when she had a clear position on an Arkansas-related issue from Donald Trump, she regurgitated it. Oh, it's a kind of a woeful thing. It really is, because I really don't want Arkansas to be an outpost for Trumpism, but that seems to be our future. Okay.
We'll see where it goes. All right, let's shift back to the Arkansas legislature. Senate Bill 622, this class protection bill. Some are calling it a hate crimes bill. It probably operates in that space to some extent. A very controversial ending. We had a drive-by adjournment last Thursday when Representative Carol Dalby basically ruled the ayes had it and quickly adjourned the meeting. It's going to be debated in the House today. It's on the calendar. If it passes, is it going to be tainted because of the way that it's been ramrodded through on the House end?
Roby, it's going to be tainted for more reasons than that. This is a perfect mess. The bill, I mean, hate crime bills vary in their provisions and in their stated coverages from state to state. And as we know, 47 or 48 have them. I don't think there's another one that goes at it this way, that dares not mention hate, that dares not mention the groups that are typically subjected to violence based on hate, minority groups. That's written in a way that a cattle farmer state senator can say, hey, I'm covered by this, as if people had a general hatred of cattle farmers, and that's why somebody might do violent harm to him. Here's what it's about. Governor Hutchinson is a would-be economic modernizer. He's tied to the state's leading business community. The state's leading business community agrees with him that it's bad for Arkansas's image. It's a bad message to the modern and evolving national business community if we're one of 2 or 3 states without a hate crimes law. They couldn't pass a real one. They wrote this thing. The lawyers say, perhaps some of their lawyers say, though it's trickery and though it is general and a finesse, it may do some good, but they don't have a single Democrat who's voting for it. And so you got all that. And then that committee meeting, it seems to me that I didn't hear the voice vote. Let me qualify that. But you've got all the Democrats, and it's a 10-9 Republican group, not counting the speaker. You've got all the Democrats saying they're against it. You've got one of the right-wing Republicans saying, hey, I was no, and I wanted a roll call. Well, that's 10 right there. It didn't pass. Then it did not pass. And I think they'll debate that this afternoon. And by the time people see this, they will know about that as to whether it legitimately passed. But I think it's going to have a footnote or a disqualifier or a disclaimer forever, which is not a real hate crimes bill. And 2, maybe it didn't even really pass. And so that's where I think the governor and his business community are. I applaud they're trying to do something. I think they're mainly trying to attend to the business image rather than the problem. But this is somewhere between fiasco and catastrophe, somewhere.
All right, he's John Brummett. He's columnist with the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Always good to get your take, sir.
And good to hear from you. Thanks, man.
All right, that's all for today's program. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you next time.